Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Friday night, and you know what that means. It's time for the SmackDown NXT Level Up Event Center. And here's the man that lays all the SmackDown in the wrestling reports himself, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer. Yes, this is the SmackDown NXT Level Up portion, once again, of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 1153 of the show. How's it going, everybody? Hope you guys are having a blessed day, blessed week. This week's over. The work week is over for me. Thank God I am home, away from that crazy mall. Was concerned about yesterday whether or not we'd get any snow on the ground, but we didn't get a whole lot of snow on the ground. We only got what we got on Tuesday, and there's going to be a thaw out next week. And forgive my gruffness, don't worry about it, because after I do all these videos I need to do today, I'm going to go take a shower, and so I can look better. So bear with me here, because I have a lot to do today. As far as, between videos here, and laundry, and showers, and everything else, it's crazy. It's going to be a crazy day. That's why I didn't do these videos last night, because needed to do them today. I was going to come straight home and all that good stuff. So let's see what we got here. Now, the Bloodline addresses in their locker room the last week's situation and the contract signing. And Solo Sikoa says he'll fix this. And then Nick Aldis oversees the contract signing. AJ Styles, LA Knight, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns. The first three men came out, signed their contract. Then Paul Heyman comes out, interrupts the proceedings, and said Roman Reigns is not signing it. And then Aldis says, well, if that's the case, then we'll make it a triple threat for the vacant Universal Championship. And then you better tell your tribal chief that. Look, Nick Aldis is not one to play around. And one thing he respects is a world title. And believe me, and the prestige that comes with it. So if I were Roman Reigns, well, that's how things should be done. But then LA Knight interrupts Paul Heyman, starts talking trash, and then he starts talking trash to AJ Styles. AJ Styles interrupts, and then they start brawling. And then after the commercial break, Styles confronts Aldis and says, hey, I want a match. And Nick Aldis says, you got it. So six-man action. The LWO, sans Rey Mysterio, who is still recuperating from a knee injury, that would be the team of Carlito and the team of Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro with Zelina Vega in their corner against the new version of Legado del Fantasma that will consist of Santos Escobar, Angel Gaza, and Roberto Carrillo. And the new Legado del Fantasma ended up winning the matchup for their team, which I think is pretty amazing. Now, if Zelina Vega ends up getting involved in the matchup, I would not be surprised if Legado, they bring up Elektra Lopez to the main roster. Because you've seen the split between Elektra Lopez and Lola Vice as a team. They're probably going to go at it, and Elektra Lopez could end up joining give me a snip of my fingers. We've been at a skunk. My dog has been having a little skunk, and I accidentally pet her, and that was it. Anyways. So, like I said, Elektra Lopez may end up joining them if they call her up to the main roster. And that would even the sides for both the new Legado del Fantasma and the LWO. Caleb Braxton interviewed Pretty Deadly. They said they were looking forward to their tag team match against Tyler Bate and Butch. Are they? And then Bobby Lashley and Street Profits addressed the Final Testament. So, anyways, the Final Testament is a group that consists of Karrion Kross, Scarlett, his wife Scarlett, the AOP, and their manager Paul Ellering. It seems like to me, here's the deal. Here's what I'm thinking. Paul Ellering joining up with Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Both Kross and Scarlett can benefit from Paul Ellering's wisdom. And I'll tell you one thing, that will help them go straight to the top. They can overtake the Judgment Day as one of the most top factions in 2024, maybe? So Bobby Lashley goes, you tell us anytime, anywhere. And Pretty Deadly took on a team of Tyler Bate, but not Butch anymore. He's morphed back into the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. And no more Butch, no more Brawling Brutes, just basically Pete Dunne. And they beat Pretty Deadly. But then after the commercial break, Kayla Braxton tried to interview Pretty Deadly and said, "We were prepared for Tyler Bate and Butch, not Pete Dunne." Yeah. Okay. And then the Kevin Owens show. The guest is Logan Paul, that Beavis-looking butthead. And Logan Paul. And then KO goes, I'll give you credit. You worked hard, but you're not going to be one of us, the WWE superstars. And then it got to the point where Logan Paul sucker punches KO. He starts celebrating. KO fights back. But then Paul attacks back as well. And he said he got a little bit of footage. It was the first WrestleMania in 2021. I think it was WrestleMania 37, if I'm not mistaken. That was their first time back with a crowd. First WrestleMania back with a crowd. And Logan Paul was just basically a guest, and Kevin Owens stunned him. And that's where the feud actually began, back 3 years ago. That's crazy, to say the least. And so both men, Logan Paul did fight back, but then by injuring Kevin Owens' right hand again. So this is going to be an interesting situation, to say the least. Roman Reigns is upset with his crew, saying, "Hey, listen, you guys are not going to look what?" And then he was upset to the point, and then Solo Sikoa says, "I'm going to fix this," because he got a one-on-one matchup against Randy Orton. The women's tag team title was on the line as Kaden Conner and Katana Chance defends against the Unholy Union. That's a team of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, and KC Square, as I like to call them, ended up winning the matchup. While Bayley was joining on commentary, he says it's great to not to have Michael Cole on there, which I think is hilarious. Then after Kaden Conner and Katana Chance did retain the titles, however, the Kabuki Warriors, Kairi Sane and Asuka, members of Damage Control, started grabbing the belts and goofing around, dancing around, having fun, and then all of a sudden referee goes, "Give the belts back. Give them to the champs." And then the girls asked for them, and they said, "Okay, fine." And it looks like Nick Aldis, Nick Aldis noticed and said, "Well, I'll give them a women's tag team title shot." I'm sure Kaden Conner Katana Chance would be cool with it. So, and that's the matchup next week. The women's tag team titles on the line. Kaden Katana Chance versus the Kabuki Warriors. So this is going to be interesting, to say the least. I like Katana and Kaden, but I like to see the Kabuki Warriors get those belts back for what? That would be what? A third time they won them? I think they'll be the first ever 3-time women's tag team champions. Michin was talking to the Good Brothers, concerned about AJ Styles. AJ Styles confronts them, and then Luke Gallows says, "Hey, we still have your back." And AJ Styles is like, "Whatever." And then the Final Testament respond to Lashley, and the Prophet says, "Wait, we don't do things your way. We'll do things our way." Kathy Kelly interviewed Carmelo Hayes, and Carmelo Hayes was talking about what happened last week, and it happens. And then Grayson Waller and Austin Theory interrupts Hayes, disrespects him, and then that was it. LA Knight and AJ Styles, this was a good fight until Jimmy Uso started showing up during the matchup, but then Solo Sikoa attacked both men and calls out Randy Orton for a fight. Randy Orton comes out, and Solo Sikoa. And this was a heck of a matchup between generational superstars. Solo Sikoa, second generation. Randy Orton, third generation. But Randy Orton won the match with the RKO. And then AJ Styles and LA Knight get involved after the matchup with Orton. And then Roman Reigns attacks all three men, signs the contract, and then just drops it in front of Nick Aldis, disrespecting Nick Aldis. If I were Nick Aldis, here's the deal. If I were Nick Aldis, with the Royal Rumble next week, basically, next week, and WrestleMania a few months off, basically a mere 3 months, I would get on the phone, on the horn, call all the UK Gladiator buddies from 2008, say, "Hey, I need extra security. Can you guys do it?" And get those female gladiators involved too, because you might need, the ladies can get really vicious, especially Damage Control. A lot of things could happen. A lot of things could change. Then Roman Reigns, after that, he attempts to spear Orton, but then Orton RKO's Reigns. I have a good feeling that we might see a new Universal Champion crowned at the Royal Rumble. But then, so an NXT Level Up scripts with OTM and the newest member, Jada Parker, went up against Brooks Jensen, who was going in alone. And Scripps did win the matchup. If I were Brooks Jensen, I would get Briggs and Henley to back him up again. Sarah Schreiber interviewed Hank Walker and Tank Ledger as they were getting ready, jacked up against the No Quarter Catch crew. They don't care who they're facing from that group. Newcomer Carly Bright took on the veteran J.C. Jane, former NXT Women's Tag Team Champ. J.C. Jane ended up winning that matchup. And Hank Walker and Tank Ledger took on the No Quarter Catch crew. Charlie Dempsey and Damon Kemp were the two in the ring. And Kemp and Dempsey did end up winning the matchup. And this would set up for the Royal Rumble next week. Let's see what happens there. So that's all the time we have on the show, episode 1153 of the show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.